you accountable. Welcome to Accountable. I am your host, Holly Heat, and I am joined, of course, by my co-hosts, none other than Blue and Uncle Lamb.
What's the goddamn
What's
deal?
happening, y'all?
Yeah.
So, here at Accountable, we have to start on a serious note. We want to acknowledge the murder of Tyree Nichols.
Yeah.
And we pray that his murderers are brought to justice and that his family is able to grieve peacefully. And I think that I have a couple thoughts from my co-hosts here.
Let you go first, bro.
I mean, it's extremely sad in regard to this situation. What's more so sad personally for me is the 5 individuals who did it.
Yeah.
How they tried to cover it up, and more importantly, how quickly they have been put in jail. Like all of that. We lost 6 lives in one day.
Facts.
And it's going to be hard for us to, come back from that. We take 2 steps forward to take 2 steps back. So, I mean, my condolences, my sincerest apologies to all the parties, all the families involved in this particular situation. And I just hope that Mr. Tyree gets the restitution and everything that he deserves from this incident.
You know, when I watched that, man, I sat there and when that young man cried out for his mama, that took me out. I won't add too much on what you said. I think it's sickening, but I will say this. We've preached on the Me Too movement about Black Lives Matter. How can they start mattering if it's our own taking us out? I mean, and I'll leave it at that. I mean, we can't move forward as a people if we're the ones that's hurting each other. I mean, 5-on-1, that shit was personal.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say it like that. It was personal. I mean, then if you watch all the way to the end, when the one cop looked like he pulled a muscle or some shit, I'm like, wow. So 5-on-1, it's a bitch move. It's a bitch move. We call it what? Fuck boy.
Yeah.
The fuck boy. So I'll leave it at that.
And I do want to say that this does not take away from the prevalence that still exists of systematic racism.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That is very prevalent in America because the circumstances were different and the races were different and how this was handled. Racism does still exist.
Facts.
In this instance, the circumstances were a little bit different, but we don't want to change the narrative away from just holding responsible the people that were responsible for his murder.
Okay.
Yeah. But
So-
like Blue said, we lost 6 lives. 6. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for your thoughts, fellas. And while we all grieve this loss that we all watched at his family's behest,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
hopefully we can all continue to strive for better.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
and that being said, we're going to move into our first topic, which is our beloved NFL playoffs. So, obviously, this past weekend, I don't know if Blue was watching because it was Dallas wasn't involved, but
Right.
it was the AFC and NFC Championship games.
Yeah.
And sorry, I just still got to take any opportunity I can to get my
That's okay. I got something
my
for you.
digs in. So let's start with the catch that wasn't the catch, but it was a catch for all intents and purposes. So
It was the game changer. It was a game changer because you got to take it into consideration. If that is not ruled a catch, do they still win? They went down right then and they scored and they made it was 7-0. If they don't score at that point, does Brock Purdy even get hurt? Like it could it changed the whole narrative of the game. So that's just where I go with that.
Well, we
Shouldn't have
watching
been
the
a
same.
I'm sorry.
Well, we watching
I'm
the same.
sorry.
Well, we watching the same game.
Yes.
One, Brock Purdy got injured the first play or the first series of the 49ers game of the game. The first series, he was out. The catch happened like what, second, going into the third quarter, damn near.
No. That was the first.
No.
That was the first series.
But no, sir. That was like 14-21 somewhere up in there. It was like 21-3.
No.
Blue.
No,
Blue.
it was the first
It was the first
score.
series.
Yeah.
For the
I
Eagles.
mean, come
For the
on, man.
Yeah. If
Come
he does
on.
not make that catch,
Come on. So you're saying that catch?
So you're essentially
outcome.
saying that catch changed the trajectory of the game in a way that
Absolutely.
it determined the outcome, as if they
Absolutely.
didn't
No.
lose by
No.
way more
No.
than 7 points.
absolutely.
What changed the game? And if I had a goddamn flag, that's what changed it. I mean, the refs was having a flag party.
They
Flag,
were.
flag. Hell, I thought you was running down the sideline and it was a flag thrown. I was like, God damn. I even called you and I said, hey, do you see this shit?
Yeah, you did. You
I
did.
mean, flag after flag after flag after flag. I'm like, is this a high school varsity game?
Well, you got to tighten up. It's the playoffs.
God damn, you gotta loosen up, Blue.
Negative.
Come on, man.
Negative.
Look at Goodell, Jerry, and whoever else said, look here, man. Philadelphia, Kansas City, playoffs. That's what we want.
I don't believe that.
And the shit carried over into the next game.
I don't believe that.
Oh my God, it was like 20 plus flags thrown, man, this past weekend.
And they were all rightfully to be thrown.
Oh my God. Okay, I forgot who I'm talking to. I forgot who I was talking to.
Okay. So I'm struggling to understand. Okay. So if you feel like the Devontae Smith non-catch changed the trajectory of the game,
Mhm.
and you're both agreeing on this.
No, I am.
I'm not agreeing with that shit.
I am.
I'm not.
Yeah. If they don't score, the 49ers get the ball back. Their defense played hella good all game.
What was the score?
I actually don't have the score
Like
pulled up.
31-7.
31-7. But San Francisco's defense
Is that right?
played a hell of a
Is
game.
anybody-
I mean,
They did play a hell of
I'm
a
not a
game.
mathematician, but that sounds like a blowout.
It's a blowout.
It is a blowout.
What you supposed to do when you you're going 3 and out because you have a backup quarterback in. You have a backup quarterback who gave up a turnover right before the half.
Yeah, the backup to the backup.
The backup to the backup to the backup to the backup.
Yeah.
Fourth
Yeah,
string.
we ended up there ended up being the 4th-string quarterback playing the game.
So, I
So-
mean, what are you supposed to do at that point?
Hold on now. When he beat Dallas, he was the next best thing close to Jesus. So now it's a problem when he gets hurt.
He didn't have a chance.
Now I'm gonna say this. If anything, I blame the freaking coaches because you went in there with 2 quarterbacks. 2.
I believe.
Uno, dos. 2.
But they had to go and get the second one. They didn't have nobody.
They had to. Well, man, you had ample amount of time. You knew this game was coming up.
What you gonna do? Go get Tom Brady?
Well, shit. Somebody need to get somebody. You should have went and got Jesus.
Well, I thought Jesus was on the other team. In your opinion,
Yeah, he was. He was.
We're talking about the second game.
He was, and he looked damn good until the 12 disciples stopped blocking.
Oh Lord Jesus, I'm sorry, the real Jesus.
Okay. Okay.
I'm just saying.
All right. So Lamp and I that takes us into that game, the Bengals game.
Yeah.
And obviously, since you have crowned Joe Burrow,
Jesus.
Yes.
Jesus, apparently.
Jesus.
What are your thoughts on
Well, I'll say this, just like I said last
playing
week.
one-legged Mahomes? By the way,
Well, hell, the defense couldn't do what we said last week. They couldn't cover Kelsey. I mean, it's just that simple.
It's not that simple.
I mean, come on, man.
It's not that simple.
I mean, you know, if it's 3rd and 5 or 3rd and 30, 87 is getting the ball.
But what you got to understand is they have a coach, Andy Reid. You are a genius.
He is. So we gonna look over Eric Bieniemy.
And what Andy Reid did was,
Okay.
Kelsey has always played the tight end spot. When he has played Cincinnati, they've always chipped him off the edge. He waited till this game to move Kelsey to a slot receiver. Just like he said, he's a receiver. You can't put hands on him.
He's
The
a
smartest
receiver.
decision. So
Double them, bracket them, triple them. I don't care. Let someone else beat you other than 87. And to answer your question, the reason the Bengals lost is because when they played Buffalo, they had the advantage with the ice. So they were able to beat the defensive line. Well, you know what? Wasn't no goddamn ice in Kansas City.
no.
Field was dry. Even though it was 20 degrees, the field was greener than a newborn virgin on prom night. Okay? So that defense was rolling, blitzing, covering, and tackling.
But wasn't that the problem before the ice game? Weren't we already talking about Cincinnati's offensive line was depleted?
line.
And because of the ice, that's what gave them the
Exactly.
opportunity to win last week?
Exactly. So that's the problem. So I'll say this. Jesus couldn't be Jesus because he didn't have the damn disciples in front of him. Just like the disciples fell asleep when the goddamn henchman came to get Jesus, the offensive line couldn't block.
Jesus didn't win
okay,
because
but I have to hold you accountable because you did, knowing that the disciples weren't blocking, right? And you and I think. No, we all chose the Bengals.
No, he was 2-0 this weekend.
Okay. So you chose the Chiefs, Joe Burrow,
Jesus.
and his team. Okay, Jesus. He's gonna make me say it, y'all.
That's right, Jesus.
They went out there and they did not perform.
What?
period. They faced the real Jesus.
What?
Patrick.
What? The one-legged bandit?
That did
Oh my God.
walking on water.
They didn't for
walking on
whatever
water with one leg.
for whatever reason.
The hopper. The damn hopper.
You tell me that sounds like a Jesus move to me.
Man, Joe Burrow has played his ass off. The defense couldn't stop nobody.
Crazy.
Again, did we watch the same game, Holly? Did we watch the same game? You on the thread. Did we watch the same game?
I won't say that. I won't say they didn't perform. They did. It was a hell of a game. It was obviously a better game than the one before it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
However, I'm not placing blame. There are obviously many mistakes that went on to make them lose the game. Obviously, there was a huge mistake at the very end of the game that some people place blame.
Nah. I think that was just a frustration move. And honestly, up until that point, the kid played a hell of a game. I mean, he was one of the reasons the defense was still in it because Osai was the disruptor.
And he did. He had played a great game.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take away from the fact that at the end of the game, he made a terrible mistake.
Yes.
And they could have gone into overtime.
They should have gone into overtime.
They should have gone into overtime, and they did not.
We don't know if the kicker was going to make that or miss. But it was
that's a long way. It would have been like a 55, 60-yarder.
60-yarder in the cold.
Right. So, but yeah. I mean, but obviously we would have like to not see the penalty. And to see a game decided by
The refs.
a penalty
Yeah, it hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts.
and by the refs, and again referring to our earlier topic about the Devontae Smith catch, not catch.
I don't blame that on the refs though, sis. I blame that on the coach. I blame that on the coaching staff that's in the booth because
Why?
you have a staff that says, hey, all you do, you review questionable calls. And when Devontae got up, banging his fist to say, hurry up, let's go. I didn't catch that shit. Get to the line, hike the ball.
He did.
The boot should have been the one saying, hey, Shanahan, challenge that shit.
Something's not right. They're rushing the play.
Right. And you had two challenges at that point, and you chose not to use them. That's not on the refs.
And so if
That's on
that
the coaching
changed the
staff.
trajectory of the game,
Come on.
that would have been big.
Yeah.
Since you're saying it all lies on trajectory of the game.
Yep.
So since we're on this topic of refereeing, that kind of segues us into our next topic, which we're going to talk about in conjunction NBA, just across sports.
Okay.
About refereeing. And I mean, it wasn't just the Devontae Smith catch, non-catch.
Right.
There were other things like the flag count that we
God.
discussed. Like you said that
20
there were,
plus.
right?
Both games combined. I mean, I'm sitting here like I was like, damn, Blue. If I did this to you, that's a flag. flag. I'm like, well, damn. If they throw one more flag, I mean, had we taken shots yesterday on the flag count, we wouldn't be here tonight.
We would not be alive.
We wouldn't. I mean,
Be like how y'all are tonight. It'd be like no, but no, but okay, but it's a valid point. And throughout the season, we've seen this continued story about the calls.
Yeah.
About the calls on and on again. And it's been a lot of controversial calls. And, you know, there are alternatives that are available, especially when you get to the goal line. There are cameras there that can, you know, monitor. We obviously have the guys up top that can monitor things. So, like, at what point do we say, okay, let's take the burden of the calls off of referees, and not just in football, but across the board. I mean, in a lot of sports. I mean, baseball's obviously doing it with their strikes and balls and so forth. But, I mean, there are other tools at their disposal, like in tennis. They have the cameras that say if something is in and out. They don't even really rely on the referee anymore to make those calls. They rely on the camera. So at what point do we say, we're going to go all in with this, or what can we do to get better at this and that, or continue to use referees?
That is sports. Like, the more that we continue to bring in cameras and the electronics, one, you're going to take, why even have referees? One, but two, like, I mean, it messes up the game to me. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be missed calls. So
you like human error?
I like human error. Like, point blank, period. Like, you're not going to make the greatest. Like,
are you surprised by that?
I actually am. I actually am surprised by that, because I mean, there was
the Dez catch.
Though there was
against Green Bay.
I wish we could do.
It was a catch.
I wish we could do like the dream clouds and the picture of Dez.
Was a catch. If you do human
although I think
error,
there was a rule change involved in that. Okay, so maybe it wasn't completely
I think
the call may have been made right, but now the rule has changed.
I understand what Blue is saying. However, this is the NFC AFC Championship game. You can't allow a game to be decided by human error. You know, I mean, you just can't. Just like every touchdown is reviewed automatically by the booth, something like that. I mean, that was a 40-yard bomb, a 40-yard first down throw conversion.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, dude. And again, that right there, I don't put on the refs. I put that on the coaching staff. But to answer your question, NFL has a better system to me because they automatically have the the team in New York that's reviewing all games at the same time, just to make sure that, hey, when something's questioned, you meet with them and say, okay, this is what you need to look at, this is what you need to take a peep at, and go from there. Baseball, you have the strike zone, not balls and stripes, but the strike zone with the computers. I think the only thing that's missing would be the NBA.
Yeah.
Now that would take away from the game because you're dealing with speed, momentum, possession, so forth and so on. So
and plays happen so quickly,
Right.
hard, and you can't stop the game every time
Every
to
time. That's
what I'm
review.
saying.
right,
You can't do that, but
20 plus flags. I mean, it was 20 plus flags.
The right team won the
Wow.
game.
yeah, we didn't even address
hold
the
on.
The
elephant.
right
Hold
team won.
We didn't even address
the
the
game.
elephant in the room.
Come on, man.
And why is the elephant in the room
Always blue.
Always blue.
Because
Dude.
y'all hate me.
Why do you have a
He hate
Kansas
me.
City hat on?
And you're-
Aren't you a Cowboys fan?
Do you not know who the Kansas City Chiefs were?
Wow.
Do y'all not know who the Kansas City Chiefs were before they were the Kansas City Chiefs?
Please enlighten.
They were the Cowboys. Let's go.
What
The
was-
right team.
What was the full name?
The right team.
What was the full name?
The Texans. Dallas Texans.
Dallas.
It was it doesn't matter. Dallas.
The Dallas what?
Dallas.
Dallas what?
Dallas.
No. What was
Dallas.
Dallas
Dallas.
Texans. Is that what you said?
Dallas.
The Dallas Texans?
Dallas
So-
is in the
That don't
ship.
even feel right
Dallas is
coming
in the
off
ship.
of my because
Dallas is in the ship. Let's go. One way or another. Let's go, AFC.
This guy here.
delusional.
Dallas
Just
versus
really
the Eagles.
delusional.
Hold on.
Dallas
I really
versus the
almost
Eagles.
thought he was.
The AFC. I mean, this guy's an NFC fanatic. Not only does he switch teams, he switches conferences.
Who switched teams?
God damn.
Dallas.
Dallas, Texas. But
They came from us. Therefore, they are us.
You know what?
Let's go.
You know what? I'm so glad that my guy is no longer on the heebie-jeebie because, dude, you're fucking delusional.
Man, let's go, baby. The real Jesus.
I was really
Oh,
confused.
God.
Like I didn't know whose hat that was coming in.
I thought it was
here,
Adriana's
but,
at first. Shit.
Let's go.
I didn't know. I thought he was gonna try to tie it in maybe to
No.
like,
No.
Texas Tech and
Dallas,
Big
Texas.
12.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was it.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was taking
My
it
guy,
way back.
my guy fully committed.
Dallas.
He bought all in. Hey,
This is a new hat.
Huh? No. This is one that sits along with the other 7 of my real Dallas Cowboy hats. It's this one.
Adriana said she saw him clip the price tag out when he walked in.
Y'all some haters.
I mean, so I don't know. We would have to question that statement or that answer.
My homeboy Dustin, exclusivehats.com. I got you, bro. Go get your Kansas City Chiefs hat. He got a bunch of them, but this is really Dallas. Let's go.
All right. Okay. I think I've had about enough of that.
and he's sober at this point, guys.
Oh yes. So
No,
No, I
over,
don't.
America.
I don't think anybody can be sober saying
Yeah.
those types of things.
That's what I.
However, so welcome to Accountable, where we hold you accountable. In that, let's move on. Like
It's
to
transition.
to my favorite sport.
Not balls and stripes, but
Not balls and stripes. No,
okay.
I said strikes.
Oh, my bad. I heard stripes. I'm
Strikes.
sorry. Okay, I just heard balls. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Pause.
So, basketball, NBA.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So it was revealed the starters for the
Come on.
All-Star game.
That's right.
Now,
That's
this
right.
is a very scientific
Yeah.
process.
Who's the
I
starter?
don't know what type of process this
Who's the
is.
starter?
LeBron, baby.
It was revealed that the starters, the team captains and the starters for the West and the East,
Mhm.
it was announced earlier, probably a few weeks ago,
Yeah.
that they would be I guess, picking teams, drafting their teams
As
the
always.
same day, which I love,
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. But this convoluted process of picking teams, like I was literally trying to research this earlier and understand, because the NBA put a lot of different posts out, like this is who is, I guess, the fans voted, and this is it. It was very hard to follow. I'm just going to be honest with you. And now they've put out who are the actual starters, and apparently the reserves are voted on by coaches.
Okay.
Anyway, it feels weird. I'm not gonna lie, but anyway, let's go into it. Of course, our team captain in the West is one LeBron James.
As it should be.
Yes,
As
of
it
course.
should
Followed by Curry, Luka, Jokic, and Zion Williamson.
Whoa.
That I don't understand.
What the hell you mean you don't understand?
That I don't understand.
Oh, you don't understand?
Barry.
Okay.
What's it
I-
not to
no.
understand?
He's great,
Yeah.
but you need to play to be in
Why?
the starting
Why?
lineup.
Why? He was voted in by the people, the writers, the coaches. What's the problem?
He ain't played.
Did he get voted in?
He did get voted in.
Okay, that's how we need to talk
So,
about.
and let me clarify: the fan vote is 50% of the vote. The
Correct.
media vote is 25,
What's the problem?
and the player vote is
What's the problem?
25%.
What's the problem?
He's not going to play.
Don't matter. He's
Why
a
is he?
starter.
He's not going to play. How you
He's
gonna
a
be named
starter.
He can't be a starter if you're not playing.
12-year-old
That shit's
Kevin and his
retarded.
friends from the Glee Club voted him in.
Man, look, he still has yet to prove anything to me because
Wow.
he stays hurt.
You know what? That's the problem. He's only hating on Zion because he came from Duke.
No, I'm only hating on Zion.
That's why he hates on Kyrie. He hates on Zion. He hates on Tatum. I mean, he hates on R.J. Barrett. I mean, hell, he hates on Coach K. Oh, and he's a North Carolina fan, by the way. That's the real reason why he's upset.
What, Carolina? Did they play in the Big 12? I'm
Come
confused.
on. I don't
I'm
understand that shit either.
confused.
Everything
All
Big
right,
12 but
well,
North Carolina Tar Heels.
So
Make it make sense.
The East is Captain Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Ooh.
Jeez, tough crowd. Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Donovan Mitchell, and Jason Tatum.
Oh, we
I
got two Dukes on the
personally-
East.
Pooh.
I actually feel like the East. There's only one snub that I definitely see, and I'm sure you guys see that too.
Joel Embiid.
Yeah, that's
Facts.
that's tough.
How are you
I
going
don't
to not
understand
put
it.
the
I
MVP? He
don't
will be the
understand
MVP
that.
this year, and he's not the starter
That-
on the. That's what I'm talking about right there.
I
He's going to
gotta-
be the MVP this year.
I have to agree with
If
Blue
the
on this.
76ers
I
keep
have to
playing the
agree.
way they're playing, and they end up being number one in the East, he will be the MVP. They won't give it to Jokic again, even though they'll be number one probably in the West. But they're not going to get past the second round.
I think this is the problem I have with when 12-year-old Kevin and his friends from the Bahama Club, they get together and cast all these fucking votes. I mean, that makes no sense.
Thank you.
How do you not have Embiid not in the starting lineup for the All-Star game?
I mean, have you watched him play?
I mean,
Like he's a center point guard.
Okay, but let me pose this to you guys.
Okay.
Reading in past years, these articles this year have kind of baffled me. But in previous years with the All-Star voting, it's been said that the player vote is kind of the most erratic, where a lot of the players are actually voting for themselves.
Hate.
Some of them are actually voting for players that didn't even play at all.
Right.
Like almost feeling like they're trolling a bit. So is it the fan vote or is it the player vote? I feel like the most neutral vote is the media vote.
And that's how
I agree.
you need to go back to that format where the media voted the All-Star players in, because now you take out the fans and you take out the players and you solely depend on the media.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could say, you know what, media and coaches, and be done with it, because this shit right here,
Yeah.
if I'm Embiid, I'm like, you know what, I'm not even showing up for All-Star week.
Yeah, I would feel real
on vacation.
played if I was
Go on vacation.
Yeah,
Free Embiid.
That's what I would do.
free Embiid
'Cause
campaign.
Come on.
I in general, I feel like there are some things, as much as I love the NBA, I do feel like there are some things that need to be reworked.
Yeah.
particularly with the dunk contest
Yep.
and so
Yeah.
forth. I mean, I am excited to hear about a few people, that are participating, but still, it's just not the same.
You know what?
So something needs to be revamped. As progressive as the NBA is,
Right.
Yeah.
let's rework some things here
You know
and
what?
make more sense, because Joel Embiid being or even go back to position
Yeah.
voting.
Thank you.
Position voting.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know what happened to that. I honestly had to ask you guys. I'm like,
And
What's
not-
really this going on?
I'm
Yeah.
gonna go on record and say I blame Mark Cuban.
Blame Mark Cuban.
Yeah.
Why? Because he's in Dallas? See? He's talking about Duke. Hate.
I just blame Mark Cuban. I'm just sorry.
Hater.
did Mark Cuban change this rule?
No,
What happened?
no, I just blame Mark Cuban.
Just because he's from Dallas.
Pretty much.
See?
Pretty much.
But I'm wrong.
Yeah.
See, man?
I mean,
Okay, well,
Jason Kidd messed over Tony Braxton. Mashburn
Wow.
messed over Tony Braxton. Jimmy Jones messed over Tony Braxton. It's a problem in Dallas.
Tony Braxton.
okay.
Hashtag the
Usually it's blue,
I'm just saying.
but
Just
right
saying.
now it's you.
Just
I don't
saying.
know where we're going with this. I think
It's
it's
the-
some snacks
it's the-
earlier.
it's the
I'm
cap.
not sure what's
It's the
going
cap.
on.
It's the Dallas Texans cap that, I mean, come on.
Well, definitely some. I'm not saying that anybody shouldn't be an all-star. I'm actually very happy to see Durant and Irving on there, because I'm still kind of pulling for the Nets here. Although Durant's hurt right now, not to say he shouldn't be an all-star.
He'll be
but,
okay.
He should be coming back.
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell's had a hell of a year.
Yeah.
Giannis,
Yes.
Tatum. I mean,
That's
there's
an
so
all-star
many great
squad.
players.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many great
Yeah.
players, but definitely.
That's a hell of a snub.
So I want
But,
to ask you a question, Holly. Who would you take off the East if you're putting in Embiid?
Ooh.
Since you like all five of those people, who would you take off?
Ooh, great question, Blue.
Geez, honestly, as much as I
Say it. Come on.
Position? You just said position
Come on,
wise
say
too.
it. Say it. You know who
well,
you take off.
position-wise, there's nobody. I mean,
You take 'em
honestly,
off.
if I had to choose
Yeah.
somebody to take off that probably has not been I'm not saying he's been having a bad year, because he's great and he's my favorite player to watch, but I would take off Durant.
Really?
Bam.
I would. And I would put him, yeah, I would.
Because he's hurt, just like Zion. You prove my point. Thank you.
Hashtag bull.
But I love Durant. I'm on his team anyway.
You see what you did?
It's been
Yeah,
what
she
you
walked
did?
right into it.
You see what you you did.
I did, but you know what? I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest, because I can be honest about things and not delusional
Right.
about things,
I appreciate
unlike
I
some
appreciate
people.
I'm always-
Anyhow, that takes us into our final segment,
Okay.
which is our accountable segment. All right.
Get some drink.
So, fellas. Oh, you gotta wet your whistle real quick? Okay. All right. Who are we holding accountable this week? You know what? It's been I have an inkling of who Blue's gonna hold accountable. So, Uncle Lamp, why don't you go first?
Who am I holding accountable this week? It's been a lot of BS going on, not only in sports media but in the world in general. But I'm gonna stick with, and I'm gonna double down. And I know you may have something extra or something different to say about this, but God damn it, 20 plus flags during the championship weekend? 20. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco. 20. I mean, hell, they couldn't sneeze on Sunday without a flag being thrown. They couldn't turn to their coach without a flag being thrown. So I'm holding the NFL referees fucking accountable for the bullshit that was displayed not only in the NFC game, but the AFC game. I mean, you know what? Cincinnati should be in the championship game. If anything, and it's like I said earlier, Goodell got what the owners and said, you know what? We're gonna have two black quarterbacks in the Super Bowl this year, Jalen and Patrick. And you know what, Ruffs? By any means necessary, do what you need to do and be done with it. I'm done.
I agree. That was nice.
All right,
I agree.
Blue.
I agree. What's funny is me and Lamb, we don't always see eye to eye, but we are actually on the same page. We're actually on the same page. I am holding accountable on a different scope Eric Lewis and the referee staff from the Lakers game against the Celtics. You gotta be kidding me.
Yes.
How do you not call the foul on the King?
Preach.
The King. You seen him. He hit his hand like that. You seen it. Even they brought the camera to you and they showed it to you. The reason this pisses me off is because I have to deal with haters that talk about LeBron and flopping. He does not flop. Sometimes he may have to over-exaggerate a little bit so y'all dummies can see that he is being fouled. And when he does not exaggerate a little bit just so you can see that he is getting fouled, we lose the game.
Yeah.
That was the dumbest thing that as you watch the game, he's not even watching the foul.
Yeah.
He's watching the shot like he has money on this game and he's about to win or lose instead of doing your job and calling a foul and making the Lakers win. There have been 3 games. That game, a game against the Warriors, a game against the Mavericks. If we win those 3 games, the Lakers are sitting 6th in the West instead of 13th. 3 games because y'all don't want to call the foul on the King. How do you not call the foul on the King? I'm tired of this. LeBron, man, do something about this, man. Shit. Craziness.
Wrong words.
Eric Lewis, it wasn't you, it was the other man.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, that's a little hard to follow. Okay,
Saucy. Hashtag saucy. That was you okay, bro?
I'm not.
Okay. All right. Carry on.
all right. So my bone to pick is with fans. The NFL is rigged. Conspiracy theorists. So let me tell you something. I know my fair share of people that have currently played and have played in the NFL, and not one time has anyone come to me and said, you know what? You know that shit rigged, right? Never. And conspiracy theorists, you know, y'all say Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, the Clinton Foundation, they're running the world, right?
Yeah.
But even they've been caught up. They've been caught up. And you expect me to believe that if Bill and Hillary Clinton been caught up, the most powerful people in the world, that the NFL has yet to get caught up?
Yeah.
I mean, please make it make sense. Like, at what point do you have to use some common sense that these men, I'm saying men because we're talking about NFL and NBA, that go out there every night and give it their all, wouldn't be at some point a disgruntled ex-employee and go run their mouth about, hey, it's rigged. Let me tell my story. 60 minutes, let me tell my story. It's rigged. But no stories have come out like that.
Yeah.
I wish every person that said that the NBA and NFL were rigged were blocked from watching the sport. Or at least blocked from commenting about it. Because it's utterly ridiculous. Now, I'm not saying that mistakes don't happen, that refs don't make bad calls. And I'm not saying that there aren't instances where players are point shaving. I'm not saying that because those are well documented. And I'm not saying that maybe that goes on in some levels.
Yeah.
But on the higher level of things, the NFL is not rigged. The NBA is not rigged. And if you think it is, stop watching it.
Saucy.
All right. I'm sorry.
Touche.
It's been a long week, long weekend. All right. Thank you for letting me get that off my chest.
No problem.
So Y'all are a hard act to follow.
Hey,
But
no, I mean,
anyway.
this is the sauce king right here. Man.
Anyway, thank y'all for joining us
Yes.
again for Accountable Podcast. Where can they find us,
Hold on.
fellas?
Before we wrap up, two things. D'Amico, just say no. Number two.
Hold on. Don't do that.
D'Amico, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't pass go. Don't accept. Please. Please.
Come on, D'Amico.
Don't do it.
Come on, D'Amico.
They still owe you
And bring Dak with you.
the knee. They owe you for your knee.
We don't want
And number two, shout out to my baby, my rib, my best friend, my wife. See you in a little bit, Denny. I love you, girl. That's what we doing, baby. I'm cupcaking like I produce Adriana. Goddamn, it's a bake sale in the goddamn production studio. If Adriana could cupcake, I'm cupcaking.
Oh, wow.
I love you, girl.
Anyway, thank you for joining us. Find us on Instagram, Accountable Podcast.
Yeah, yeah.
TikTok. I've been posting to TikTok.
Yes.
Accountable Podcast, y'all.
Yes.
Yes.
Follow, like,
Subscribe. Sure TV.
And-
Apple.
comment.
And you know
Argue
what?
with us. We're here.
Blue.
Obviously.
Y'all don't want it.
Blue.
You don't want it.
Blue.
That's
Blue.
a wrap.
We're not gonna overlook the fact that Holly has some clear heels. Bye-bye.
Click on. Click on.
Bye-bye.
Dorothy.
Dorothy, we're no longer in Kansas.
But we are. Let's go, Chiefs.